Oh, reconnection successful after only one reconnect attempt. Why does it always happen at the same time every day, man? I even called my internet provider. I set up the ping plotter. Why does it keep happening? They got her. It's over. Oh, no. Oh, no, man. Glitching for anyone else? Yeah, my stream had a little bit of a hiccup. Fucking DEI internet. Fuck them. Oh, no, Kirsche died. I should be back. I should be back now. I don't think it made a new waiting room because it, oh, no, did it? Did it really? I wasn't even down that long. Fuck me. I hate the Antichrist!
More milkies. More milkies. Oh, no.
Say that was a warning? Oh my god. Stream finished, you dumb piece of shit. You're still 4 hours? Yeah, on Twitch, but apparently on YouTube it made a new waiting room. Those fucking glowies, man! You've been down for hours, look. It's just my mental, okay?
Is it bad to be attracted to a cartoon fox that you don't even know that well?
Thank you, Relia, for spamming the link. Curse you, Neil! Hold on, I gotta get the YouTube chatters back up.
10 out of 10.
I am really sorry for all of the issues streams have been having recently. I genuinely don't know what the issue is. I feel like I've exhausted almost all of my options here. Twitch is a new stream too. What the fuck? It was down less time than usual! Please do not try to eat jelly beans from my anus. Oh god, I'm gonna fill someone's jelly bean anus! I'm gonna find the glowies and I'm gonna stuff their anus with jelly beans until they explode! New Guantanamo Bay torture just dropped! Desert Ghost, thank you for the 20 gift subs! Your gift subs help me dry my tears, thank you. Hell of a time to reload, welcome back. The forbidden jelly beans. Let me see if I can get through this article without the glowies taking me down again, dude. Jesus Christ. Diversity involves increasing an organization's heterogeneity. Heterogeneity? What? What? I've never seen that word before either. What the fuck? Heterogeneity. Genality. Money doesn't solve all problems, but it sure does solve a lot of them. Heterogeneity. Alright, I'll try saying it that way. Diversity involves increasing an organization's heterogeneity in terms of race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, disability, social class, cognitive divergence, experience, and worldview. Inclusion ensures everyone feels they have a voice and can participate fully at work. The report says equity involves allocating support, resources, and opportunities, considering individuals' different circumstances to help achieve more equal outcomes. You know, some animals are just more equal than others, chat. Championing DEI is the finance sector, or in the finance sector, presents unique challenges due to its rich history and entrenched traditions. According to the Sheffield Haworth report, the firm notes that the finance world has long been dominated by men, leading to fewer women in leadership roles, limited mentorship opportunities for emerging female professionals, and a culture that may inadvertently favor one gender over others. I think they messed up here. There should be one gender over the other. I can understand. A lot of these places don't have editors. Sheffield Haworth lays out the biases in key decisions. Hiring. Despite growing awareness of DEI, unconscious biases can still influence recruitment, leading to preferences for candidates from certain educational institutions or backgrounds, or those who fit a particular mold as seen as suitable for finance roles. And the Amazon diversity report talked about unconscious bias and how they have like meetings and systems in place to help counter unconscious bias, to remove the bias from your thoughts before it even happens. And Amazon, as well as Sherm, has also talked about using AI to help filter out unconscious biases that we might not know we even have. Orwell spinning in his grave, right? Promotion criteria, often subjective, can be influenced by biases. Employees from underrepresented groups might find it challenging to break the proverbial glass ceiling due to these deep-seated biases. Investment decisions. Biases can also affect investment decisions. Venture capital, for instance, has been criticized for not funding enough startups led by women or people of color, potentially missing out on innovative ideas and lucrative opportunities. We've seen what the DEI-styled venture capital has done in the gaming industry, and we've also seen a little bit of it elsewhere. It's not great, man. Navigating these challenges requires concerted efforts to address historical imbalances and biases, ensuring a more inclusive and equitable finance sector. By actively promoting DEI, organizations can unlock a wealth of talent and perspectives, driving innovation and success in the industry. Why is DEI a business imperative? There's that exact bridge language. And give me ein Moment. I must respond to a text message again. My massage therapist is very sorry, chat. Okay, all right. She's forgiven. Sure, the massage therapist. Yeah, she's doing enchiladas. She's making me enchiladas. Enchilada massages. It's all right, massage lady. Stay classy. Massage therapist love. I do love her. She's wonderful. Why is DEI a business imperative? Research suggests that the more diverse and inclusive a company is, the better it can perform. According to McKinsey, the study that all of us know has been properly debunked, wasn't even real to begin with, was a complete fake study that everyone has been pushing in order to push this ideology. Racially diverse companies are 35% more likely to outperform their less diverse competitors, while companies with strong women representation are 25% more likely to outperform. At the same time, employees want to work for more diverse companies. According to Glassdoor, 2/3 of job candidates seek out companies with more diverse workforces. I just don't believe you. The keys to making corporate progress in DEI. DEI has become a cornerstone of the business world over the past decade. The concept of diversity has expanded to DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion, in recent years. Each of these three words has come to represent a different element of the conversation. Francesca Di Arcangeli and Tom Connolly of Kingsley Gate, that sounds like a cult name, man, recently sat down with the Hunt Scanlon Media to discuss how to implement successful DEI initiatives. Perhaps more profoundly, the UK's financial regulators have highlighted greater diversity as a key contributor towards greater financial market stability, integrity, and growth. Integrity? Fucking how?
Silly woman.
According to the Sheffield Haworth report for both the UK's Financial Conduct Authority and Prudential Regulatory Authority, financial firms have an obligation to better reflect the diversity of their customers, the study points out. They've drafted a number of stringent proposals that will see financial firms in the UK obligated to establish evidence-based D&I strategies or face significant potential fines. What do they mean by evidence-based D&I strategies? I mean, if these people literally make up every single one of their studies, I guess it doesn't matter where the evidence comes from because it's going to be fucked anyway. But like this, what do they expect these companies to do? Yeah, it's just word fucking salad. We have evidence. Although these rules will not directly impact other sectors, they are likely to become best practices over time, which those in other verticals will feel pressured to adopt. Once again, the people who are going into the job field, the people who do not know what it was like in the before times, the people who will only know what these DEI initiatives are and DEI as operationalizing as a business practice, this will be all they know. This will be normal to them, and that is the goal of these companies. Again, they use intimidation. Improving DEI offers operational benefits and is a legal requirement for many. It also helps foster a fairer society.
Hold on. I have a tab for that. I have a tab about gay duck necrophiliac sex.
No gay duck sex right now!
Wait. How can racially diverse companies be more productive when hard work and time management are racist concepts?
You're noticing too much, sir. I'm afraid we're going to have to fire you for wrongthink. Michael White, thank you for the $25 doodles. It also helps foster a fairer society and ensures equal opportunities for all. Key challenges of achieving DEI. Despite the clear benefits of DEI, it is far from becoming reality in most countries. In the UK, only 4 FTSE 100 CEOs are women, while only 13% of FTSE 100 senior managers in 2023 were ethnically diverse. In the US, meanwhile, 2023 saw a record number of black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, a somewhat disappointing 8 out of 500. But why does it matter how many black people are there? Their skin color doesn't determine how well they're able to do the job. Like, I know that's not the point, but I still get angry whenever I read this shit. Because it's like, a woman shouldn't be a CEO because she's a woman. A black person shouldn't be a CEO because they're black. They should be able to get it because they know what the fuck they're doing. I was like, I know that's not the point, and I know what they're doing, but it still makes me, like, irrationally angry when I read it. I can't help it, man. A J-Man Dual Blade, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We're wrapping up today with some DEI bridge nonsense. Ooh, man, this article, Achieving Diversity in Private Equity. I don't like that name of that article. One of the biggest reasons for this is that companies simply aren't prioritizing DEI enough. And again, this is where a lot of the DEI is dying misinformation came. Even Tim Pool propagated this when he looked at Charlemagne. And he clipped Charlemagne and was just like, look, even Charlemagne thinks that DEI isn't working. But then the rest of the Charlemagne clip was Charlemagne saying, it doesn't go far enough, we need to do more. There needs to be more priority on DEI. 41% of managers report being too busy to implement DEI initiatives. What an interesting percent. Add to this a widespread lack of evidence-based and measurable DEI policies and cultural resistance from many within organizations themselves. And there are multiple barriers towards progress, the Sheffield Howarth report explains. Widespread lack of evidence-based and measurable DEI policies. Okay, if there's a widespread lack of evidence and measurable DEI policies, how are you going to fine the UK firms if they don't adopt evidence-based DEI strategies? If you are admitting, literally in the next paragraph, that there's a lack of evidence-based, how are they going to collect underpants? They're just going to make it up. It came to me in a dream. Understanding where your organization is now. Oh, we got levels? I love leveling up. The Sheffield Howarth stresses that these challenges are why it's so important to understand where your organization is now on the DEI competence model. Only then can you get a clear idea of what has worked, what isn't working, and what steps to take next. Here are Sheffield Howarth's 4 levels of where your organization stands. Level 1 in the DEI competence model is compliance. Your organization is reacting to existing laws and regulations as they evolve. At this level, your workforce is largely homogeneous, and your legal, HR, or specific DEI team are entirely responsible for driving change. Level 2, performance. Your organization is increasing the representation of specific demographic groups. In this case, the HR or DEI team are still mainly responsible for driving change, but your organization is likely to have a business case for DEI and increasing diversity. Though diverse hires must adapt to your existing culture, and many of them may end up leaving. Level 3, where your organization's leaders drive change by looking to address systemic cultural barriers. Typical characteristics of this level include having a cohesive strategy for achieving greater DEI, including dealing with cultural resistance. Do you guys remember when corporations just wanted to sell you a product? Do you remember the good old days where a company was like, hey, I made product, and I'm gonna maybe put some like advertisements in between the frames of the commercial to make you more apt to buy my product. Do you remember when that was like the extent of their evil? You will also likely have good training and communications around the topic. Level 4, the ultimate goal, integrated. What a fun new term for normalization, ain't it, chat? This is where all employees at every level of your organization buy into the goal of greater DEI and seek to help achieve it. Remember those multiple interviews where they said you have to embody the work? The work doesn't stop when you leave your company. You must bring it to your friend groups, to your dinner table. This is your life now. Characteristics of this level include having a demographically and cognitively diverse workforce, a genuinely inclusive culture, and motivated workforce, and outcomes including greater productivity and innovation. Achieving strategic and talent alignment. Now that you have a better understanding of where your organization sits in the competence model, it's time to look at how best to solve the challenges you're facing. The Sheffield Howarth report explains, if you haven't yet aligned your DEI strategy with your overall business strategy, you will struggle to succeed. Again, this is the operationalizing DEI as a business practice that Cheryl Daija talks about so frequently. A robust DEI strategy with measurable success criteria requires a structured approach with clear milestones and outcomes tied to specific business outcomes. You must start by engaging senior leaders and identifying sponsors with real influence who can drive change across the business. So again, what I'm sure they're talking about here by identifying sponsors or identifying like the capital that will be put into their companies to support these initiatives, right? But it also makes me think, once again, going back to how streamers are being bought and paid for by these companies looking to push the narrative in that field as well. Cognitively diverse. Let's see here. I'm going to skip this little blurb. Consider tying DEI targets to remuneration for managers. We've already learned that this happens within some companies and it's not good. Implementing organization-wide programs and measuring the ongoing impact on productivity, innovation, and revenue growth. Then comes the last steps of the journey, identifying, recruiting, and effectively onboarding and nurturing this diverse talent. There are many smaller steps needed to achieve this, but they can include refining your employee value proposition, expanding your existing talent pools, reviewing job specs to increase the inclusiveness of the language used, ensuring diverse interview panels, getting independent reviews of your processes, and more. Sheffield Howarth also notes that there's a lot to consider for busy executives when advancing DEI. The biggest benefits of increasing DEI are by now well known. Are they? Are they actually? If organizations are failing to make further significant strides with their DEI, it's not usually due to a lack of will, but rather a combination of common barriers, the report said. However, no problem can be solved without first ensuring a correct diagnosis, which is why that's the essential first step for any organization serious about driving DEI. The Sheffield Howarth closes by says to first work out where your organization is now and then look at what your key barriers or challenges are. Look to reinvigorate senior level support for change, identify key DEI champions to help spread the word across the business, and look again at how you identify, recruit, onboard, and continuously support diverse talent. There are more steps to go before we reach our DEI destination. But with the will to carry on even when it gets tough, we will significantly improve the odds of success. This is a very creepy article. Like, this is all stuff that I already knew from, like, reading through Bridge. But again, it is just, like, it's very creepy when they lay it out in plain terminology. If they're so well known, why is there no evidence? Shh, you're asking too many questions. Really hammers it home. Yeah, champions like League of Legends. Yeah! Imagine this destination is the delusional utopia. Once again, If their plan is to operationalize DEI as a business practice, regardless of what you personally think or believe, or if you are against this as an individual, if your entire company has embedded the tenets of DEI into the corporation, you cannot escape doing this. If your company is filled with DEI, if the video games and the movies and the TV shows, if all of your entertainment is filled with this DEI nonsense, if you cannot go to a store and buy a product because every product, your money goes to pushing these initiatives and to creating this global unified ideology, you have become stuck. You will not be able to escape no matter how much you disagree, which is why I think it's very important to get out exactly what bridge is and how all of these companies are sort of circling the wagons, adopting the same terminology, from Sherm to IBM to Amazon to the CAA that hires content creators as sponsored people for them. Everywhere is adopting this. They're all using the same language, and it's infuriating. It's infuriating, man. They're even making you raisins. Oh my god. The soup. I am still flabbergasted that the only reason I am the current quote-unquote expert on all things bridge is because I have an incessant need to look things up when I get curious, and soup brought me here. Fuck you, soup! Soup feels bad, man. Also, when we were talking about that weird island in Ireland, I think it was Ireland, maybe Scotland, I can't remember. We watched the Dankula video on it in one of my other streams that also got fucking cucked. And he talked about the Campbell family in Ireland and how everything the Campbell family has ever touched just turned to shit. Like, they've just been terrible. They've just been a terrible fucking family. It turns out that, yes, in fact, that is the same Campbell family that eventually came to the United States and made the Campbell Soup Company. That's kind of fucking wild. I kind of want to know what they did to Ireland or Scotland or whatever before they came here. Boston accent, Ireland, they're the same. They're not the same. Fucking Campbells! Adamar, thank you for the £5 tangent. What are your thoughts on the current British riots? I hope British people can take back their country. I want to stop saying I wish I didn't think of the UK as existing. I want them to be back in their former glory. Campbell's Irish, a clan in Scotland. I can't remember, chat. I'm sorry, I'm bad at remembering things. Godspeed, UK. Fucking Godspeed. And personally, you don't care about the British. I mean, normally I feel that way, but if they have a chance of actually getting rid of their politicians that fucking hate them and making their country for the British again, yeah, I'm gonna support that. The way things are heading, we will take it back. Good, I fucking hope so, man. The Campbells are responsible for Glencoe. You say that like I remember what Glencoe is. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Magna Carta Part 2. Oh my god. It's insane how all people want is a normal job, and yet they get bridge stuff shoved down their throats. I mean, again, Yuri Bezmenov warned us about the communist takeover back in the 80s. He was a defector from the KGB, and he said that if we don't start right then and there in the 1980s replacing Marxist doctrine with American values, and even if we started then, it would still take us, 15, 20 years to replace the damage that has been done. We did not heed his warning. He was not listened to. And Marxism has been allowed to flourish in our education system and in our political fields. And now we are at a point where it's going to be much, much harder to uproot the weeds and the cockroaches who have co-opted all of our institutions. But if we don't, it's only going to get worse. He was now hated. Yeah. What does DEI matter in the ultimate goal of a company? Like, really, revenue is what matters. If the elephant doesn't fit the suit, then look for something that does. In my opinion, they are foregoing short-term profits as companies in order to secure long-term cultural victory. We know that DEI games don't make any money. We know everybody wants them to fail. We know companies don't actually make more money by pushing DEI policies. We know that there is massive successful boycotts against companies such as Bud Light, such as Target, when they go too far with their DEI policies. We have physical evidence we can see with our lying eyes that means all of this is just bunk doo-doo. So why do they keep doing it? Why do they keep doing these things that do not make them money, that lose them massive amounts of money, that get them public ire? They do these things because it's not about the money right now. It is about cultural transformation. They have hit a head point where they've been changing the language of diversity and equity and inclusion and equality for so many years. So instead of continuing the slow burn of changing all of these terminologies, they want to finally push it as an all-encompassing cultural change. If they're successful, if all entertainment, if all corporations, if all products are all pushing the same ideology, people like us who are older are not the target. It's people of the younger generation who will be completely encapsulated by all of this ideology, and they will not question it. This will just be normal. They will not understand that this diversity isn't real diversity, that this equity is actually bad for them. This will just be something that is normal and part of their everyday lives. You disagree? I mean, I would like to disagree, but again, look at how far Britain has got before they started fighting back. Look at how 1984 that country is, with government surveillance and lack of free speech and lack of being able to defend yourself. Seeing how bad Britain got, I do not have faith in enough people in the younger generation that are having their brains pumped full of propaganda to all revolt at the same time. Again, that's why I think it's very That's why I think it's very important to talk about these things, to point out what's happening, to get enough people talking about it, that people who are in positions of being able to have influence will be able to do something before it gets too bad. You're assuming DEI is global, where it's only prominent mostly in Western countries. It's a Western religion. It is a Western religion. And what do Western countries like doing to non-Western countries? Where are we funding wars right fucking now? All right? Okay, it's gonna become your problem, baby. And why is it in the West? You know? Western religion influenced by Maoist communism. It's fucking crazy, man. We know what's going on. I wish you the best. 1980s London comes back. I don't know what's happening in the 1980s London. I mean, I want to believe we will make a difference, right? I'm not black-pilling anyone. I want to point out how pertinent it is to make sure these people do not succeed. Do not let them succeed. Do not let them have the normalization period of their ideology that they wish to have. Stop noticing. Daniel CR, thank you for the 10-month member. You freed many slaves. Would have freed many more if they knew they were slaves. Thank you, Harriet Tubman. I'm not blackpilling anyone. Not deliberately. Big difference. Well, I mean, it sounds like a very difficult thing to fight. And it is. It is a very difficult thing to fight. And especially talking about the dangers of Bridge as a brain-damaged anime foxwoman, I don't have all that much influence on my own. Which is, again, why I say I'm very grateful to people like the Lotus Eaters who do pick up the research about this that I've done. They are people with actual cultural influence who can get people to listen to when they're telling you what Bridge is. Don't know if Gen Z buys into it entirely. It's already over. I don't even know at this point if it's Gen Z that is the target for modern audience. I think Gen Z is too old. I think it's the generation after Gen Z that is the target. Again, this is just me speculating, because if they're trying to create the modern audience, even if one generation is pumped with a degree of propaganda, right, and Gen Z has more people identifying as just crazy things than any other generation before, the generation below them is going to have even more propaganda pumped into them and even less resistance to questioning why things are the way they are. Gen assimilated, and Gen Z's too old is probably Gen Bravo. That's what I'm thinking. But again, this part is just me, like, speculating specifically who they're targeting with this. You keep repeating that the point of the propaganda is to make people feel alone, what with their lying eyes are telling them. Becoming aware and making it clear that other people around you see the same thing you do is already a big step to breaking the ideological capture. I would agree. I definitely agree with you, which is why a lot of people will tell you, oh, you shouldn't talk about it. What are you going to do besides talking about it and complaining online? And it's like, well, That's the first step to anything getting done. If you don't point out to people what's happening, how can you do anything actionable on it? Primal Clown, thank you for the $9.99. White privilege in London is getting arrested for being a patriot, and on top of that, you have a certain religion that goes along with the idea of 1984. Yeah. Yeah, that fucking cop that got stabbed by the serial stabber while he was trying to arrest the white dude that is crazy to me. That is insane. I like the Summers of Love here were already pretty insane. Evil Mandrake, thank you for the 5. You just read a bizarre headline. The body of the Trump assassin is gone, allegedly. I have that in a tab. Unfortunately, I do not have time to go over it today. Tomorrow, the collab starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. So the first hour of stream, I'm gonna use to catch up on some thank yous for you cuties. I'm gonna give you the licking you deserve, chat. Get licked, idiots! Let me see. Homestead is online that I can dump you guys at today. Hopefully my massage therapist isn't waiting too long. I messaged her, so give me a second here. I gotta be fast, man. I gotta be a fast lady. You know what? I haven't raided into pay money wobbles. I'll probably leave them up in the background while I'm fucking doing shit. Who collab? Part-time super terrorist. As a collab with me, Nano, Bagman, Moonshine. Part-time super terrorists all get back together, baby. Why does Pay Money Wubby stream title have the teacher who's always pregnant? What the fuck? I'm gonna raid Wubby. We're gonna raid Wubby. This man has a very beautiful fucking Gamer Subs flavor as well. If you missed it earlier during the stream, I briefly talked about it before it released, but Cinder just had a big drop on Gamer Subs. So if you'd like to go find some new Cinder merchandise, use code Kirsche for 10% off. Anya! Making a mess, tipping the Tupperware! I hope he doesn't have followers only chat on. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, chat. Another fancy freaking Tangent Friday. Go be weird. Wubby's a weird man, and that's why we love him. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. And if I didn't get to thanking you for subby bubbies and gift subbies and donos and supas, I'm sorry. Hopefully I will be able to thank you tomorrow before the collab. I'm sorry, I don't hate you. Thank you for your love and support, chat. And have a good rest of your night. Bye bye. Bye bye.